Hey everybody, it's Pax. Just making sure that my setup is good. All right, we're good to go. Cool. So I thought about it last night. If you didn't see the scenario last night, it didn't go great. Charlie and Kymani got bogged down really hard by enemies. Couldn't get rid of them. A couple of bad pulls, a couple of bad decisions as well on my part. I think reflecting on it a little bit more. I was going to just rebuild the decks and carry on, but I think what I'm actually going to do is just keep the decks as is and carry on with them. It's my first time through the campaign. It's all new story text. It's not like I'm reading bad resolutions that I've read 30 times before. Printed out a couple of copies of the campaign guide for myself. I just took a photo. We haven't seen the last of the Red Gloved Man. The cell told the truth to Taylor. The bearer of the Eye of Ravens is the Red Gloved Man, and we have 3 time passed. Now, where I stopped was this embarking and traveling stuff. So we'll just shove this off to the side. Get that right there. Cool. You get a bunch of locations, several leads on the whereabouts of the Red Coterie. You've got Shanghai, Alexandria, Buenos Aires, Nairobi, Anchorage, Istanbul, Kathmandu, Marrakesh, and Havana. And if you look at these, a couple of them are on the map, right? There's Marrakesh. Let me see. There's Anchorage, right? But there's other ones as well that aren't on this list, like Stockholm is right connected to London. And so, let's take a read through this Embarking and Traveling and Foundation dossiers thing again. I did read this at the end of the last stream, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it again. So whenever you embark, you may travel... you may travel wherever you wish using the map included in the Scarlet Keys. Each space on the map is connected to one or more other spaces by paths. And when you're ready to embark, you travel along the path to reach whichever destination you wish. For each path you use to reach your destination, you must mark 1 time, to a minimum of 1. So, for example, if I wanted to, I could head straight to Stockholm from London. At each space on the map, there's a number and a letter combination that will guide you to a particular page in the campaign guide. You do not have to stop at every space you travel through. However, if you wish to stop and see what that space is, turn to the page of the campaign guide that matches the indicated number and follow the story text there, or use the table of contents on page 2 to help you find the appropriate page. This might lead you to an interlude or to a scenario. There's no perfect path to follow, so follow your gut. Just be wary of how much time you spend. Tracking time on page 6. Some locations are marked by a red border and the lack of a letter. You can only travel to such a location once you're permitted to do so by a story log entry. Some locations marked by green border represent side stories. If you're not stopping at one of them, you may skip it and continue traveling along the path. If so, count it as one continuous path and not 2 separate paths. So I don't know how well this shows up on the stream. Thanks, Volt. Going to show it how a determined player bounces back. I hope so. I don't think these decks are so bad that they can't bounce back. I think I just got a lot of enemies and some pretty bad pulls to deal with enemies. Because when you fail like a bunch of tests trying to dispatch enemies, that's pretty much a death knell, right? If they keep coming faster, you can get rid of them. And then once you've stopped at a location, you cannot stop there again for the remainder of the campaign unless otherwise instructed. And then also the Foundation dossiers note here. Throughout the campaign, there's a number of Foundation dossier sidebars, an example of which is provided below. Investigators are allowed to peek at the Foundation dossier sidebar for any space on the map at any time. So, for example, I could go read 36L about Stockholm and see if I wanted to head to Stockholm. So, for instance, I can just flip through this and go find it, I guess. 36L, Strange Architecture. Nope, that's the wrong page. I don't think this has... So I think that you can't go to that one because it doesn't have one of these dossiers. But let's just say, like, Marrakesh, right? If I wanted to go from London to Marrakesh, and is Marrakesh one of the... Yeah. A deadly coterie agent has been sighted in Marrakesh. Reports of tomb robbers and strange overgrowth of the local Foundation operatives on edge. So I could read the dossier in Marrakesh, and it does have some information, right? Amaranth is a woman of European descent, appears to be in the early 20s, typically seen wearing a large red flower that partly obscures her face. Paradimensional capabilities, power to redacted and redacted, channels redacted via redacted to redacted, and redacted from redacted. So it kind of goes in on some of the stuff there. Don't get lost. The scenarios have the dossiers. As far as I can tell, the scenarios have the... I don't think it's always the scenarios, but for example, Stockholm there didn't, right? I think if you stop there, then you just go, right? Is that what's going on? Or did I read the wrong thing? I'm not sure. It looks like it goes straight through this, but it looks like there's no dossier for it, is my point. But like 26G in Moscow. Well, where's 26G? Quid pro quo. See, this one has a dossier, but then it's got a whole bunch of stuff as well. So I could read this on Moscow, for instance. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, look, and there's also San Francisco. Okay, interesting. Um, I need to explore. Yeah, you need to explore, yeah? And that's why I'm taking a bit of time right now is to just kind of be like, well, what do I actually want to do? I want to see where I can go in a reasonable amount of time. Like, I could get to Bermuda. I don't know. Can I go to San Juan but not stop there? Is that what that was saying about the embarking and traveling? You can only travel to such a location. Whenever you embark, you may travel wherever you wish. You can only travel to such a location once you're permitted to do so by campaign log. I feel like, can I pass through San Juan but not stop there? Is that the idea? Cannot stop here until unlocked. May pass through. Okay, it says that on the map. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm going to drink a little bit more of my coffee. Sorry for the slurping. It's very, very, very hot. I just picked it up. I literally got in the door, sat down with my coffee, and and started the stream. So let's see. Like, what could I do? Let's read see if there's a dossier on Bermuda. It's 20E. Nope. No dossier in Bermuda. So, where do we want to go? So we got to go to Havana, Marrakesh, Kathmandu. Oh man, this is going to be really tricky. I almost want to make a copy of this where I like highlight the ones. I can't do that right now because I'm on the stream. Does anyone have a copy? Do you have a copy of the map file, Ian? Could you post that in your server if you have one? How's your graph theory? Terrible. Absolute shit. You don't. Okay, that's fine. I guess that being the case, I'm just going to choose somewhere to go. I suspect that maybe there's some sort of order here. I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I have no idea what to do. I've never been so like stumped by this game before, ever. Marrakesh and Nairobi, Anchorage, Havana, Buenos Aires. Oh man, this is so hard to keep track of. Shanghai, Kathmandu, Jesus, Istanbul. Where is Istanbul? Am I having a stroke? Do I not see Istanbul for some reason? Am I? Hello? These don't like further break areas out, do they? Is Istanbul not in Europe? It's in Turkey. You can get there in one time. Am I having a stroke? Wait, Constantinople? It's Constantinople on the map. Okay. Oh my god. All right, Pax. You know this, dude. I'm not particularly well read on geography, so I should know that. So let's read through the descriptions, and I'll just choose one to go to. One is likely in Inspector Flint's home city of Shanghai, where there have been many rumors about the existence of a secret cabal led by a mysterious woman with a red parasol. And now, Flint mentioned he was going there first. He has connections there he can leverage, so he'll head there first. He does say the best thing is to split up, but I wonder if I went with him if he'd have an easier time going. So how far would I need to go? I need to go like 1, 2, 3, 4? Or 1... No, 1, 2, 3. I could spend 3 time to get to Shanghai. That would put me on day 6. It's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the Turks. All I can think of is that stupid song. Oh, what is that band called? Uh, they have a song called Constantinople, and it's just the weirdest thing. I think Primus did a cover of it. I don't remember quite how it goes, but they're just saying, here I come, Constantinople. I'm coming, Constantinople. Here I come," over and over and over in this weird nasally voice, and oh, it's very strange. Some sort of old counterculture band from the 80s or something, maybe the 70s. Okay, so in Alexandria, there's been a rash of beastly killings throughout the city. The Foundation has a reason to believe a member of the coterie is involved. A string of high-profile burglaries in Buenos Aires, which is quite far away by the looks of it. I think I might avoid... Oh, it's only 3 as well. And I could stop in Rio if 44-0 is something I could do as well. It's likely the key's a prime target. Okay. A member of the coterie has a sanctum in Nairobi. Perhaps you might learn what they have planned. A Foundation has procured the journal of a prospector recently working in Anchorage, perhaps the site of a key. A coterie agent operating out of Istanbul has already reached out to Foundation operatives, a defector perhaps, or it could be a trap. That might be the one that's... Okay, that's cool. Locals in Kathmandu have reported seeing a spirit matching the description of other coterie agents. A deadly coterie agent has been sighted in Marrakesh, reports of tomb robbers and strange overgrowth. A coterie agent has made a name for himself in Havana, where rum and other illicit goods are being smuggled into the United States. That's the song. They might be giants. Yeah. Oh, yes, They Might Be Giants does that one. Yeah. Well, I think in order to avoid sitting here dilly-dallying too much longer, I think I'm actually going to go with Agent Flint, because I suspect that maybe if I go there early enough and he goes there, that I can get some help from him, and I think I need the help from him. So let's see if 32J and if Moscow on the way have some dossiers for me to read, and then we're going to do it. So Constantinople is 21F. I could stop in Constantinople, but it would take more time, I believe, if I stopped in Constantinople. And also, that was one of the locations to actually start a scenario, if I'm not mistaken. So, am I... did I miss it? Yeah, 21F. This is where AJ is. AJ? AJ Shaheen? Okay. We've read that if you were keeping up with the excuse me, if you're keeping up with the spoiler season there. Okay, so Moscow is 26G, Sanctum Class Green, Sanctum Locations, redacted, San Francisco, California, redacted, Moscow, Russia, redacted. Descriptions. Sanctums 26G1 through G6 are Foundation offices and storehouses for paradimensional artifacts. Do not disclose locations of sanctums with non-Foundation personnel under penalty of redacted. Approach procedure. Agent in charge of sanctum will meet you upon arrival. Early instructions attached. So I think we're going to stop in Moscow. We're going to go from London to Venice to Moscow, so that'll be one time, and we'll stop there, and we'll see what happens. And so we'll read this. Check where you are on the map. If you're in San Francisco, proceed to quid pro quo number 1. If you're in Moscow, skip to quid pro quo number 2. The Foundation's base of operations in Moscow was just a 5-minute walk from St. Basil's Cathedral, a nondescript door set into a modern constructivist structure overlooking a cobbled street. The corridor inside feeds into a crumpled stairwell but descends deeper than you could have anticipated, to a red door set in a flaking whitewashed wall. After identifying yourself, you are led into a long, well-lit hallway with lavish carpeting. It seems you follow instructions well, says a voice. You turn to see a tall, athletic woman in a well-tailored suit. Valeria Antonova. We have met before. Call me Lyra. Please follow me. Agent Antonova leads you through a labyrinthine set of passageways, past a set of double doors, to a white-tiled room flecked with grime and what you hope is red rust. On an operating table in the center, what looks like a person is strapped to a metal slab, restrained with tight leather straps. Looking at the humanoid shape makes your head swim. Its features are blurred as if in constant motion, like a hummingbird in flight. You only catch glimpses of its features. A Stygian eye, clenched teeth, nervous twitching. Lyra, another agent, interrupts. The Commissar needs your attention. Agent Antonova looks sternly to you. This is a paradimensional being. Please keep your distance. I will be but a moment away. The agent leaves. As you look at the sharp implements mounted to the wall of the lab, you wonder what experiments the being has endured. Judging by the subject's well-tailored black suit, you wonder if it used to be a Foundation agent. After a minute of silence, it begins to flail around on the table, widening and shrinking its mouth to a wide, dark O, always facing you. You keep your distance, trying to look away. Please excuse me. Agent Antonova re-enters the room. The being on the table stops flailing. There's another matter I must attend to. Unfortunately, we do not have the resources to escort you around our facilities, so I must ask you to leave. However, the Foundation does wish to assist in any way it can. Please tell us what we can do for you. The investigators must decide and choose one. We like to get around faster. The lead investigator adds 1 copy of Expedited Ticket to their deck. You may embark. We'd like some supplies. Each investigator earns 1 experience. You may embark. Or we'd like some intel on subject 28I. Skip to quid pro quo 4. Choose this option only if you have not yet visited Havana. Okay. So, what's the expedited ticket? Where is that? It doesn't tell me where that is, so I assume that there's a pile of player cards somewhere in amongst these packs. Did I miss player cards at the back of this, maybe? Oh yeah, there's an expedited ticket. Permanent. While embarking to a new destination on the map, you may exile expedited ticket and mark 1 time in your campaign log to travel anywhere on the map. Yep. I'm going to take that, I think. It is a permanent. I don't need a sleeve for it, but I'll grab one anyways. Where are we off to? We're off to Moscow. Well, we're at Moscow right now. We're going to be going to Shanghai. I figured after last night, because of how poorly that went, I might go. I'm going the same way that Agent Flint is going, in hopes that if I go the same time as him, that I can help him, and I won't end up with him frigged or something. And now we're embarking again. So we're done in Moscow. We can't come back to Moscow. So we'll pass through Tunguska, and then end up in Shanghai. That'll be 2 more time. I think that this ticket's going to be really cool if we have somewhere we need to get right at the end of the time. Then we can just exile that and get there in 1. Right? If we're in Alexandria and we need to get all the way over to San Francisco or something. Or if we're in Nairobi and it's shit, we need to get up to Anchorage. I feel like there's... Oh no, not Tunguska. So in Shanghai, we are at 32J. Jesus, this is setting a really nice impression. Oh, I was allowed to read this dossier at any time. File 32J, asset name Flint Lee. Area of operation, Shanghai, China. Profile, recently acquired agent in charge of undisclosed cell, reporting directly to Commissioner Taylor. Current assignment, according to recent report, asset has split from the rest of cell and is currently in Shanghai investigating whereabouts of subject 46Q. Notes, asset loyalty to Foundation cause is unsure. Extreme vigilance recommended. Way to go, Agent Lee. Now he's looking for 46Q. Is that something I'm allowed to look up? Yeah, 46Q is Shades of Suffering, but that doesn't have a dossier, so I'm not allowed to look at that right now. So I was at 32J. My favorite part of this campaign so far is how much it feels like a throwback to Choose Your Own Adventure book. You should lose the first scenario on purpose. That would be funny. Haha, I'm not sus. Yeah, I already lost it, and it was not on purpose. Thanks, Philian, for stopping by. See ya. All right. The Coiled Serpent 1. And sorry if reacting to chat's a little slow. It's all the way over there on a different screen. I don't have a good setup. This is so jacked. I have a ladder next to me that I've got a thing dangling my phone off the side of it. It's pretty bad. But I really wanted to play, and I like to stream these. This is fun. I like playing with the real cards. I don't get to do it often enough. So, the Coiled Serpent 1. You send a missive to Agent Flint ahead of your arrival, setting a meeting time and place. Jing'an Temple at noon, and head there as soon as you arrive, entering the broad stone courtyard at the temple's entrance. After a short while, a tourist approaches you and asks in English, "You sure you're alone?" It takes you a moment to realize that the tourist is none other than Flint, in a subtle yet convincing disguise. He narrows his eyes at your stare. "Answer me," he says, scanning his surroundings. You assure him that you haven't been followed. Can't be too careful, eyes everywhere. I have a lead on one of those coterie types here in Shanghai, just like the Foundation's intel suggested. They call her Subject 46Q, aka Lady with Red Parasol. Sure enough, she brings that parasol everywhere she goes. As far as coterie insignias go, it's not the most subtle. While he whispers, he pulls a large camera and tripod from his duffel bag and painstakingly sets up a shot of the temple. You wonder aloud what in the world Flint is up to. Stop staring, he hisses under his breath. Then you spot other tourists taking photos as well, and you realize that Flint is better at blending in than you are. The last time I saw the lady with the parasol, she was leaving a meeting between several wealthy British and Chinese businessmen, railwaymen. He says quietly, head still down. Women aren't usually allowed at such meetings, nor are regular citizens. To be in that room, you have to be able to get the attention of those powerful men, which means you're either very powerful or obscenely wealthy. Flint takes a few photos, then moves to a new spot and starts the tedious process of focusing the camera all over again. Within 2 weeks of that meeting, they announced a lucrative new contract. It seems all their competitors were convinced for one reason or another to step away from the project, which left them to write their own ticket, name their own price. He slowly scans the courtyard again, careful to move just his eyes and not his head. Could be she has leverage on them, or maybe she's just that charming. But I'm willing to put my money on it being the influence of a key. If that's true, it's imperative that we're not made. Flint's paranoia is infectious. Check the campaign log. If the cell told the truth to Taylor, proceed to Coiled Serpent 2. If the cell hid the truth from Taylor, proceed to Coiled Serpent 3. So I told the truth, I believe. Yep. Look, I would tell you more, maybe even let you help me out here, but you've made it pretty clear you're a bit chatty, and the last thing I need is the coterie figuring out I'm onto them. So how about we split up? Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll contact you when I have a good lead. Without letting you protest, Flint packs up his camera and leaves. In your campaign log, record Flint is working solo. Oh, that's bum. In your campaign log, find the 6th spot from the current time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And write... So I'm at 6 right now. I need to put this epsilon... Is that epsilon? I'm not sure what that is. I should know this. I was in engineering school and we use these symbols all the time. When you reach it, proceed to status report Psi. It's Psi. In the status report section of the campaign guide. You may embark. So I have to fuck off. He's not very happy that I chatted too much with them. But that's all right. That's all right. Okay. I have to embark again. So I'm in Shanghai. Let's see. What do we want to do now? I could go to Tokyo. It's just one away. 36M. There's a special delivery there in Tokyo. In Tokyo, asset name Taylor Kiana. Profile redacted. Current assignment Tokyo, Japan, and Lagos, Nigeria. The rest is redacted. So there's a bunch of special delivery things. I don't know what any of this does, so I don't think I'm going to bother going there right now. Kathmandu, I believe, is one of the locations we need to head to. And I don't want to spend too much time dilly-dallying. I would like to get to somewhere that is a mission. So I think I'm going to head to Kathmandu. It's 53V. But when I do that, I think that I have to read this alpha thing. So we're going to travel once to Kathmandu. We're going to read the dossier here first before we proceed. This is 53V. Subject class undetermined. Real identity Aliki Zoni. Operetria Aliki Zoni. Okay. In Kathmandu, Nepal, hereafter maid with scarlet sash, appears as a teenage girl of unknown descent wearing a white dress and a red sash. The paradimensional capabilities are completely redacted. Locals in region have reported seeing a spirit matching the subject's description, heralded by a high-pitched whistling sound. Unclear if redacted. Approach procedure. Subject risk class unconfirmed. Do not approach. Okay. I think that we're going to head to Kathmandu and see what we can do. So, I'm going to cross off one time, and I wonder if there's a specific ordering I have to do this in, but I have that alpha symbol, and I'm just going to do a quick glance back at that and see what it says about that. Does it mention anything here? No, it doesn't mention anything here. Maybe it was in the time in the other, tracking time. If you fill in a box that has a symbol, proceed to the status reports 69, find the status report matching that letter, and read that text as follows. Okay, so we're going to be reading this alpha status report. Status report. Status report alpha. As your travels continue, the Foundation receives more and more reports of strange disappearances. With each new dossier you read, you worry that it's only a matter of time before there is nothing left. Add a cultist token to the chaos bag. Okay. Dilly-dallying a little bit too much, but we're in Kathmandu. Let's get that cultist token in there. Okay. But we're in Kathmandu, which is 53V. So that's towards the end here. 53V. Whistle on the wind. Whistle on the wind. A chill breeze flutters through the streets of Kathmandu, along with a faint, shrill whine. To the north, the Himalayas loom over the city, only their peaks illuminated by the westward sun. Pinks and purples bathe the sky in vibrant beauty. You could stare at such a breathtaking sight forever, but you have a job to do. Despite the quiet, peaceful evening, that soft, sharp piping does not cease, like an aching sense of dread in the back of your mind. As the evening drags on and the whistling grows louder, you realize you're the only one who can hear the strange sound. It feels as though it is reaching out to you directly. As if it hears you too, as if it knows you. On a whim, you close your eyes and strain yourself to listen closer. It's difficult to tell where exactly the sound is coming from. It seems to waft all around you and echo through the streets, but it grows in volume as you round the nearest corner and head north. And so north you continue. Hi, Francesco. Eventually, you reach an art gallery nestled between several age-old buildings. The whistling here is fevered and unpleasant like a boiling kettle. Though the gallery is closed at this late hour, you are able to easily find an open side entrance. You brace yourself and enter the gallery, where dozens of Nepalese? I don't think I've ever spoken that word out loud. Nepalese sculptures and paintings are on display, many carved out of wood or stone, others made out of ashtadhatu, an amalgam of 8 different metals, and still others made of terracotta. The whistling suddenly stops the moment you reach the rearmost section of the gallery, where a single lot remains strangely empty. There's no trace of what might have been there, just an empty space where something historic and treasured is clearly meant to be. Then a lone voice pierces the sudden quiet, speaking in a language you do not understand. You turn on your heels, body tensing. On the other end of the hall is a girl dressed in white, her figure seemingly ethereal in the faint beams of fading sunlight that permeate through the building. Her long black hair is draped over her face, masking her expression. A long scarlet sash wrapped around her waist flutters behind her. Despite the fact that there is no breeze, you freeze. The figure of the girl does not move. Her hair and sash drift steadily in the stillness. Then she speaks once more. Again, you don't understand a single word of it, though you notice she has switched languages. Recognizing a few root words, you realize she's using Latin. She speaks again, this time in what sounds like ancient Greek. If she's trying to communicate with you, it may be wise to play along. You ask her what she is doing here, why she guided you here. Her response is yet in another language that eludes you. This one sounding somewhat like a blend of Egyptian and Greek. And then if an investigator has the drifter trait, you get something there, but nothing. Due to the language barrier, it's difficult to get a sense for what she wants from you. As you attempt to decipher her intent, she approaches slowly, her steps making no sound whatsoever along the wooden floor. She gestures to the empty lot next to you and whistles softly, as though the sound might carry with it some meaning. You wonder if perhaps there might have once been something here, and then realize it's gone, vanished from history without so much as a trace. You recall the woman's name from the Foundation dossier, and ask her if she is also on the trail of the entities responsible for these kinds of disappearances. Eliki Uperetria does not seem to understand you, but she tilts her head in recognition at the sound of her own name. Then she wrenches something from around her neck and extends it to you in a closed fist. The lead investigator must decide. Accept what she is offering you, proceeding to whistle on the wind 2, or do not accept her offer. Proceed to whistle on the wind 3. Yeah, I like the sound of I like the use of the drifter trait as well. I felt for a long time those are a little underutilized. They're also a little underexplored on the investigators themselves, so it might be tricky to do like card mechanic stuff with it, but if they can fit it into campaigns, I'm all for it. Well, we've been like stupidly trusting up to this point, and we can use all the help we can get. So let's accept what she's offering. After all, Charlie Kane is his whole deck concept is getting help from the occult. You extend your hand, and a small device on a silver chain falls into your palm. It is a whistle carved out of bone to look like the head and beak of a white raven. Glancing back at Aliki, she points towards the plaque next to the empty lot and says something once more in what sounds to you like Latin. You ask what she is after and what the significance of the whistle is, but she remains cryptically silent. Turning over the whistle in your hand, you find no strange markings or clues as to its purpose. When you glance back up to question Aliki, she has vanished, replaced once more with a cold wind that seeps into your skin. Then, though no one else seems to hear it, the piping returns, soul-wrenching, ear-splitting. It does not cease for as long as the whistle remains in your possession. In your campaign log, record the cell possesses a mysterious whistle. Each investigator suffers one mental or physical trauma as the shrill sound follows them everywhere they go. All right. Physical trauma for Kymani and a mental trauma for Charlie, because almost all of his allies have a whole bunch of horror soak. Jesus Christ. But we do possess a mysterious whistle. Cool. And then we also have to add a tablet. Jesus Christ. So I think I've got 4 now. So now whenever I stupidly choose to trust people, I will be gaining experience. Because if there are already 4, each investigator earns an experience instead. So let's double check that I'm correct about that. There's 2. Yeah, 4. So I've got 4 now. Hopefully the effects of these are not too bad. Otherwise, Charlie's going to be needing to pick up a counterspell. Or maybe Nikosi Mabati. Or something. Okay. Cool. And you may embark. So we're off again, I guess. So we're there in Kathmandu. I guess we could try Bombay. Is it 36L? Is Bombay a place I needed to go? No, there's nothing going on there. I wonder... I'm feeling a little silly. I've been running around with my tail between my legs trying to find something, but I haven't actually made any progress towards the scenario. So Constantinople is where Istanbul is where the defector is. Bombay doesn't necessarily have anything. I could head to Bombay and then move through Cairo to Nairobi. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to do that. So one more time through Bombay, 36L. We are just wandering around aimlessly. Yeah, 36L. Strange architecture. If you're at Bombay, proceed to Strange Architecture 1. The air is deliciously warm as you wait for a tram in southern Bombay. With several days until the next leg of your journey, you allow yourself to be drawn in by the city's intoxicating color and light. A whirlwind first day sees you visit various temples, curio shops, and bazaars. Bright orange flowers hang by strings from bamboo racks as you make your way through a bazaar towards the Kolaba Causeway, where the gateway of India looks out onto the waterfront. As the day turns to evening, you continue to explore back alleys and side streets lit by delicately inlaid bronze lamps. The air is thick with unknown scents and hazy shapes as you lose yourself in the heady atmosphere of the old city. As you make your way into your hotel, you cross a wide thoroughfare into the Kalagoda district and stroll down its old, winding roads. If the cell appreciated the architecture, so we have not done that yet, so we skip to Strange Architecture number 3. As you navigate the labyrinthine art district, one facade in particular stands out to you. A narrow building with handsome cornice molding and intricate stonework is wedged in between 2 older local buildings. The number 13 is carved next to a pair of austere wooden doors. Over the door is a slate frieze that depicts a cast of mythological figures, some recognizable, some not. The building itself looks out of place amidst the intricate architecture of the surrounding areas. The look of the building makes you feel vaguely uneasy the longer you study it. There's a coldness, a sharpness to the building's design. accentuated by jagged quains and harsh angles. Something about the wide black windows, the dark interior, denotes the emptiness of a hollow skull. The darkness in the evening only magnifies the sense of eeriness. Others do not seem willing to linger here. In your campaign log, record the cell, appreciated the architecture. Okay. And we can embark again. So we're in Bombay. We'll pass through Cairo to Nairobi. And if I recall correctly, it said that only takes one time. I think that's correct. If you're not stopping at one of these locations to embark on a side story, you may skip it and continue traveling along the path. If so, counted as one continuous path. Yep. So from Bombay to Nairobi is one more time. Ah! My pen! Weird. And we are at 54W. Subject class green, real identity Masai Tuwile? Twale? Masai Twale? Yeah, okay. Last known location, Nairobi, Kenya. Subject 54W, herein after Twale Masai, is a slim man of Kenyan descent, middle-aged, and 176 centimeters in height. Coterie signifiers include large red spectacles, redacted of redacted, and redacted with coterie operatives. Subject has written and published openly under her name in numerous geological and archaeological periodicals. Paradimensional capabilities, no known reports. Subject appears to possess no such capabilities, or is successfully hidden, redacted from Foundation intelligence. Sightings, Twale Masai teaches under a fellowship at Oxford University and has published numerous surveys on work at and around Lake Victoria. Approach procedure, Masai, has spurned all Foundation contact thus far. Operatives may wish to approach only if Masai has reason to trust them. Okay, so I don't think there's any sense in stopping here then, right? If he needs to trust me? That sounds like a terrible idea. So let's not do that, right? Where's the next useful place we can go to? Oh man, we are just chasing our tail. We are chasing our own tail. I'm like 36 minutes in and I'm just reading campaign text. That is insane. I guess I could head back up to Alexandria. Back through Cairo. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. 38N. Dogs of War. Okay. The beast in the crimson cowl of crimson is a roughly humanoid figure, approximately 183 centimeters in height, clothed in a red cloak. The hood of the cloak effectively masks the figure's identity, very likely to be redacted in origin. Only appendages, as of yet observed, is a set of redacted claws, redacted, hence the moniker. Redacted seems likely. Paradimensional capabilities. The beast in cowl of crimson appears to have high aptitude for physical confrontation. Prior encounters have led to redacted. Victims are redacted and redacted or redacted. Extreme caution is advised. Sightings. Beast in cowl of crimson is prime suspect in several gruesome murders throughout Alexandria. Note, paradimensional implement, aka key, known to exist in Alexandria. Coterie element may be using key to redacted. Approach procedure. Subdue subject with extreme prejudice and acquire paradimensional implement for further study. Alright. Let's head to Alexandria, back through Cairo. We've got one more time done. We are like 10 times through this, and I have to read the Epsilon, but now we're here in Alexandria. We read Epsilon, and then we... Did I read the wrong thing? No, I turned back. We have to read Epsilon, though. Status report Epsilon. As you traverse the streets, you flinch at every shifting shadow and every passerby wearing red. You're definitely being followed. and you have no lack of enemies who might fit the bill. For the remainder of the campaign, whenever you are setting up a scenario, perform the following. Gather each of the enemies in the red coterie encounter set whose names matches those whom you haven't seen the last of in your campaign log. Choose one at random, shuffle it into the encounter deck for the scenario. The red coterie. Okay, so we're gonna be having to deal with the red gloved man with this Eye of the Raven attached to him in encounters from now on. So that's a bummer. But anyways, we're here in Alexandria, 38N. One more sip of coffee and we'll read this intro. Sounds like I'm finally at a scenario. From the moment you step off the train in Alexandria, your hackles are raised. Dark clouds gather over the city, and waves crash ominously against the Mediterranean coastline. But the brewing storm is not what worries you. It's your tale. I started with just a few of them. Local authorities, you suspect, or at least that seems to be their cover. They could be Foundation agents keeping tabs on you to ensure you remain on task, or coterie operatives looking to take out a potential threat. You navigate your way through the streets towards the Windsor Hotel, where you have a room booked for the night, but everywhere you turn, you spot more of them. You begin to formulate a plan just in case. Perhaps you can confront one by surprise, interrogate them, learn what they're after, but your thoughts are interrupted when a group of them beat you to the punch. Welcome to Alexandria, agents. Yes, we know who you are, one of them says, but to your surprise, he raises his hand and shows that he bears no weapons. Now that you're closer, you can easily spot the telltale scarlet trappings among their persons, ties, cufflinks, and the like. Don't worry, we come in peace. One of our number wishes to speak with you. We have a problem in Alexandria that perhaps you can help with. You scoff, incredulous at the audacity of such a request, but you have no intention of walking into the beast trap. I understand why you're wary, the agent says, but I think you will find this agreement to your liking. If you come seeking the beast, believe it or not, our goals are aligned. This invitation comes from one much wiser and far less dangerous, I assure you. Come, we have much to discuss. You consider your options, but trap or no trap, you can't pass up an opportunity to speak with a high-ranking member of the coterie. Excuse me. Information is your best weapon right now, and no matter what, this can only help to inform you. You agree to follow, but keep an eye on your escorts, just in case. To your surprise, the agents lead you by way of a horse-drawn carriage to the Bourse. Bourse? Bourse? I don't know. The stock exchange building in the heart of the city. You follow your escorts through a bustling crowd wearing the finest clothes, up several flights of stairs, and through a locked office door on the top floor of the exchange. Immediately, you realize that this must be no ordinary stock exchange, but a coterie hideout of some kind. The office on the other side is an enormous suite, adorned with a surprising number of ancient relics and Eurocentric art, including a rather large portrait of a knight wearing a suit of scarlet-plated armor. Fewer than 20 time has passed. We proceed to Intro 2. Upon entering, you're greeted by your host, an elderly man of English or perhaps French descent, wearing an elegant brown coat over an outfit of outdated red formal wear. Ah, here they are. He motions for you to sit. You're surprised to find a man to be clearly of European descent, perhaps English or French. Though his hair is graying and thin, and his face wrinkled with long lines of worry, he seems surprisingly spry and large in stature. He rests his hand on a polished silver cane, but doesn't seem to need it to walk. If you didn't know any better, you would think him to be much younger than he lets on. We do not have the Miskatonic or Scholar trait, so we don't read that. I suppose you have many questions. First, introductions are in order. I've gone by several names in my long tenure, but you may simply call me the Cleric Knight, as others do. I know why you're here. You come seeking this, do you not? He unlocks a nearby armoire, and as its door opens, a flash of light illuminates the room. Inside is a crystal vial containing a shimmering sapphire substance. It is, without a doubt, the key you have come here to find. Immediately, your mind races, brimming with possibility. But with many of the Knight's agents standing right behind you, you decide to stay on your best behavior. For now. We have guarded this implement, the Light of Pharos, for many years, protected it from those who would use it to harm rather than guide humanity. Only we have the capacity to do so, to keep such powers out of the hands of knaves and troublemakers. Now, here's the issue. There is another who desires the Light of Pharos, one who is far less benevolent. The beast, you suspect aloud. Indeed, the Knight confirms. And before you ask, yes, that creature is counted among the members of our esteemed organization. You wonder aloud why two members of the coterie might be squabbling instead of working together. Hey, good luck. I'm off to go play Dad of War Ragnarok. Cool. Thanks for stopping by, MJ. Sorry, I had to do a cough there. Hope that mute wasn't too late. Yes, while a membership requirement has been lax in recent years, he jokes with a chuckle, the truth is I bear no particular fondness for this beast. Its methods are unsavory. It draws too much unwanted attention. His eyes deep and blue as a dark ocean meet with yours to emphasize this point. You remind your host that time is of the essence and ask where this is leading. Of course, he obliges. As I said, we have guarded this implement for countless generations. It would be a shame for it to fall into the hands of the untrustworthy or uncouth, would it not? But the beast draws nigh. It spills the blood of friend, foe, and bystander in its path. Its path to us. It is after the light, and as the light's protector, I must do everything in my power to stop it. As such, I have summoned you here to strike a bargain. He nods to one of his agents, who closes the armoire and seals it shut. There is a rush of air. Sorry, I lost my... There is a rush of air and a sensation of building pressure through the room as the door shuts tight. Your ears pop with a painful change of pressure. This is a place of power, one of several throughout the city, which we have established to prevent uninvited guests from entering. Had you not been escorted, you might have been turned to ash. But any such locus can be destroyed, and then the beast would descend upon us like a starving wolf. We cannot be everywhere at once. Help us defend the locuses so that we may retain guardianship of the light of Pharos. In return, I'll tell you what you wish to know about our organization, and you will have prevented catastrophe from befalling this fair city, which has seen more than enough calamity already. What do you say? Can we rely upon you to make the right choice? All right. Well, I mean, we've been trusting morons this whole time, and it hasn't fucked us over completely yet. So, very well, we accept. In your campaign log, record the cell made a deal with the cleric knight. Remove an elder thing token from the bag. Add a tablet if there are already 4. Each investigator earns an experience. Yes! Yes! We have experience! We have experience! We have experience! Okay, that's enough of that. 1 unspent experience for both of us. I don't know if I get to upgrade. We proceed right into setup. Version 1. So. Okay, setup version 1. Gather all cards from the remaining encounter sets: Dogs of War, Scarlet Sorcery, Spatial Anomaly, Spreading Corruption, Dark Cult. These are set indicated by the following icons. Okay, so let's go find the stuff that we need. Dogs of War, it said. Nope, none of those. Dogs of War. And what else? Are any of these ones that I took last time? I don't think that any of these are ones that were in the last scenario. No, it's a completely new set of encounter cards. Oh, man, what am I getting myself into? Okay. Come on. Don't do this to me. I thought this was sharper than this. I guess they can't be too sharp. Come on, beautiful. Here we go. Thank you. Got the corner. Corner's all you need. Is it? Okay, I guess I'm a nincompoop, and you can all get to watch me struggling to open cards for several years. Okay, Dogs of War. Jesus Christ. All right, that was painful enough. And what encounter sets do we need? We need not this one, not the liquor bottle, the hands, a weird little doobly-doo, not that one, not that one, this one. Oh my god, that's a huge encounter set. And then this one. There we go. And now none of these are... Yeah, that's a totally different set. Now, is the red-gloved man... Oh, am I using a different... No, you see, I think I fucked something up. Look at this, right? I have to go back looking back at that Epsilon entry. I don't think I get that red-gloved man. I think I get... Where is it? Yeah, it's from this encounter set. So this is the red-gloved man that I need to randomly set aside. And obviously I don't have any of the rest of them yet. So that's not going to be relevant. So let's just... we'll put them back. We'll have some sleeving to do. I also need to get the... No, where is it? Set up version 1. I need to get the Dark Cult as well. Which I do have here pre-sleeved. I thought I did. Yeah, Acolytes, Wizard of the Order, Unstable. Whatever it's called. Energies. So, we've got all those done. Should I do some sleeving or should I get some of the setup done? Put the following locations into play. Windsor Palace. Let's put all those off to the side for now. These all need to be put into the encounter deck at the moment. Agenda 1A. I guess it's just version... Brewing Catastrophe version 1. And then Rabbits Who Run, a whole bunch. Probably version 1 as well. Remove each other act from the game. So none of these acts are used. Cool. A lot of different versions of this scenario are going to be available. So, put the following locations into play: Windsor Palace, Hotel, Victoria College, Quake Bay Citadel, the Corniche, Zen El Satat, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff here that I'm not dealing with right now. So, we begin at the Quake Bay Citadel. And I need to take a look at the map here to see how these are connected. So, Quake Bay Citadel is in the center. The Cornice is above it. Zen El Satat is below it. Windsor Palace Hotel is there, and Victoria College is there. And it looks like these are connected the same way that, if you're familiar with the Innsmouth scenario, whichever one that is, that kind of grid sideways this way, but up and down that way, but not across. From that one. Right? Yeah, right. Okay. And we begin play at the Quake Bay Citadel. So I'm going to put my characters in play right here. I don't think I get to spend that experience. I sincerely doubt I get to spend that experience. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to just grab my opening hands before I reveal this location. I already shuffled the absolute shit out of these. I don't know why I'm doing it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Kymani. I think we'll be using that ticket soon to make up for all that lost time we did there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Charlie. So what does Kymani got? Kymani's got a backstab, a manual dexterity. We get to put the stubborn detective to the side. And we also have another manual dexterity. Charlie has Leo, Calling in Favors, Close the Circle, and a Familiar Spirit. The Calling in Favors is nice. I think that I just straight up get rid of both of them because I don't know... I don't know that I care for that too much. Actually, Leo's quite good. The bonus action and the icon. The Faustian Bargain's going to bite me in the ass, I imagine. But I like... We'll have to. I'll have to have a think about that. Over here on Kymani, I like keeping the backstab, but I want to get some other things as another sneak attack and another watch this. Okay, goofy ass shuffle. Tons of money over here, but we're gonna need some card draw. You know, for Charlie, I am really tempted to just keep this, just to like windmill slam this Leo DeLuca and Faustian Bargain down. And so we're going to get rid of the Close the Circle. We're going to get rid of the Familiar Spirit and draw 2 different cards. An Eldritch Initiation and another Faustian Bargain. Wow, these shuffles have been really weird. Getting a lot of duplicates. Only an hour into the recording, and I'm finally starting in a scenario. Very nice. It's still set up, though. Ah. Okay. Let's do a little bit more of the setup. Put one key locus story asset into play at each of the 4 locus sites. What is a key? One. Oh, no, this is the wrong pile. Last Bastion side, face up. Now, does it matter what they are? No, I don't think so. Place 1 Doom on each of those locations. Ugh. Holy shit. Now, these all have Victory 1. Spend a clue, test 2 willpower, heal damage from the key locus, plus 1 additional damage for each point you succeeded by. If it's defeated, remove it from the game. Do not add it to the victory display. They each have 6 health. Okay. That's interesting. Put the Boris Locus Safeguard and Catacombs of Calm El Bloody Nexus. Remove the other versions from the game. So there's the Bloody Nexus. There's the Locus Safeguard. This side is the Boris. And this side is the Calm El. Catacombs of Calm El Shulkafa, I guess. Can we see this? No, not quite. So let's go like this. Sorry, just trying to get this all set up in a way that is presentable. Okay, like that maybe. Put the Cleric Knight into play at the Bourse. Where are you, Mr. Cleric Knight? Story asset side face up. You can exhaust him to move 3 resources from your resource pool to him. You can exhaust him to move 3 resources from him to your resource pool, or an asset you control as charges, ammo supply, or secrets. Oh my god. So over the course of 2 turns, he can turn money into whatever you need it to be. That's really cool. And attach the Light of Pharaoh's key to the knight. Does it say which side up? Both the Cleric Knight and the Light of Pharaohs are controlled by all the investigators. Play a card from your hand at -3. Flip this key to its unstable side. Each investigator must discard 2 random non-weakness cards from their hand. Then, if an investigator shifted this key, flip it to its stable side. I don't know how the shift thing works. I'll have to reread the rules on that. But that's on the Cleric Knight there. The lead investigator spawns the Beast in a Cowl of Crimson, enemy at the Catacombs of Calm, El Shukafa, Ravager in red, face side up. The Beast in a Crimson Cowl, Ravager in red. He's a 3/6/4. Patrol the nearest location with a key locus. Retaliate when he is defeated. Heal all damage from him. Exhaust him and move him to the Catacombs of Calm El Shukafa unengaged. Okay. Shuffle the remaining encounter cards to build the encounter deck. So these got put aside unused. I've got a couple of extra things here that are going in, and I need to sleeve all of this stuff along with the Red Gloved Man who will have that key attached to him. So let's get sleeving. Unfortunate that I have to do this live, but I'm a silly person that chose not to do it ahead of time because I didn't know where I'd be. So how's everyone doing? Has everyone got the expansion? Let me do it like that. That's a bit better. I'm enjoying it a fair amount so far, but I'm surprised that it has taken me this long to play one scenario and set up the second one. It's been a while here. I'll have to read the rules on the keys as well, because I don't know how that works. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this Light of Pharaohs, and I don't know what's going to happen with the one that the Red Gloved Man has attached to him when that happens. And I expect we're about to lose. I expect we're going to lose fully. Okay. All sleeved up. Ready to go. Shuffle these in. Get a good shuffle. And we're ready to get the scenario rolling. Now, I will take a look at the act and agenda here. Dogs of War, the skull is -1, -3 instead if you're at a location with the key locus. So that's these locations. That's brutal. The cultist is a -3. If you fail, either take 1 damage and 1 horror or place a doom on the nearest key locus or locus site location. That sucks. And the tablets are -2. If this is an attack against an enemy with patrol, after this attack, it disengages and resolves its patrol keyword. Oh, gross. So if you're trying to kill him, he'll run away from you if you pull that at all. Wow, that is brutal. That is tough. I have no idea how well I've shuffled this. I can only hope that shuffled a bit better than last time, and maybe we can pray to not just draw every enemy in the deck on the first 3 Mythos phases. That'd be quite cool, I think. Yeah, let's pray. Let's pray. Let's hope and pray. So, where are we going to put the encounter deck? We'll put it up here. So, Brewing Catastrophe version 1. The beast is coming to claim its due. Each enemy loses Hunter and gains control nearest location with a key locus. While there are no key locuses in play, the Cleric Knight counts as a key locus for the purposes of card abilities. When checking the Doom threshold, Doom on cards other than this agenda subtract from the Doom total in play instead of adding to it. Objective, defend the Knight. If the Cleric Knight is defeated, advance this agenda. Rabbits Who Run. You've agreed to help the Cleric Knight and his enforcers defend his key from another member of the coterie, the Beast in the Cowl of Crimson. During the enemy's attack step of the enemy phase, in addition to their standard attacks, each ready enemy attacks each key locus at its location as if it were assigned as if it were an engaged investigator. Horror dealt by these attacks is dealt as damage instead. Defend the key and hold out for as long as you can. This agenda represents how long you must defend it. You will be instructed when to advance. Okay. So we need to last 12 turns, and we also need to remove these dooms somehow. But we're at the Quake Base Citadel. That's where we start. After you fail a skill test while investigating here, you cannot discover clues or expose concealed mini-cards at Quake Base Citadel for the remainder of the round. It has 2 clues on it. So he's going to be running in and destroying these key locuses pretty much right away. And I have very few methods of dealing with him because he's just huge. He's enormous. So I need to do some evades, and then I need to lock him down with evades for a very long time. So, let's take a look and see if there's anything else going on that we need to know. The entrance to the offices is secure unless the Cleric Knight is the only key locus in play. Enemies cannot enter the bourse. If an enemy would spawn here, spawn it at a connecting location instead. And the catacombs of Kalm El Shokafa. The way into the catacombs is blocked. You cannot enter the catacombs. The Beast in the Cowl of Crimson cannot leave the catacombs. If there's 6 or more Doom on the current agenda, reveal the catacombs of Kalm El Shokafa. Okay, so he can't leave here right now. The Beast in a Cowl of Crimson cannot leave the catacombs of Kalm El Shokafa. Okay, so we don't have to deal him for the first couple turns, so we get a bit of time to set up. So I think I'm going to go ahead with Charlie first. We're going to play the Faustian Bargain to get a bunch of resources. We're getting 5 total. I'd like to, I think Kymani is good on their own money with these watch thises. We're just going to dump it all into Charlie. 2 curses to the bag. Bag's over here. Okay, so that's done. We're going to play Leo for 6 of it. We're going to draw a card. Get another Eldritch Initiation. That's hilarious. And I think we're just going to move a location to try and figure out what we're doing here exactly. So we're going to move down to the Zenet El Seta, maybe? Zenet El Seta? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll head backwards, actually. I'm not sure what to do. No, we're going to go back to the Windsor Palace Hotel. Established along the coast, the Windsor Palace is one of the finest hotels in the city, serving its elite. If there is anywhere coterie and envoys might be hiding, this is it. According to your intel, it's also the hiding spot of one of the Cleric Knight's supposed loci. While you're at the Windsor Palace Hotel, If there's a key locus here, increase the cost of each item or ally asset you control. If there was no key locus here, reduce the cost of each item or ally asset you play. But this does have 2 clues on it. So what's the point of all the doom on here? Can I remove that doom somehow? I'm worried that I missed something in this setup. Okay. So I've got a pretty long timer here, but anyways, boom, boom, move, and I drew as well. So that's Charlie. Kymani, I think Kymani needs to draw some cards though, because they don't have any of their assets, and assets are going to be really important for them. So we'll do 1 card draw. It's a cheap shot. We'll do another card draw. It's a momentum. And then I think last action, we're going to move up to this Victoria College. Founded just 2 decades ago, the college is home to many important and well-to-do students. Your intel indicates that one of the Cleric Knights loci may have moved here recently. It wouldn't be surprised to you if this was the chosen site. For Shroud. When you would draw exactly 1 card from your deck while you're at Victoria College, instead look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose 1 to draw, and shuffle the other back in your deck. Limit once per round. Oh, I wish I'd have known that before I moved around a bit. That's okay. So we each get a resource and a card draw. Madame Lebranche, and I already got the resource, and it's another sneak attack. So I'm all set up for damage. That's kind of nice. And a Doom, and then an encounter card for Kymani. She's still the lead. Compulsion, put it in your threat area. When your turn begins, reveal a random token from the Chaos Bag. If it is a symbol token, the first action you perform during this turn must be the below ability, if able. Double action to discard Compulsion. Interesting. And then for Charlie, Beyond the Pale. Attach Beyond the Pale to your location and test 3 willpower. If you fail, take 1 horror for each hex treachery attached to your location. After this test ends, if there are exactly 3 copies of Beyond the Pale in play, discard them. So we're just going to be taking a horror because he's definitely going to fail this. -2. Yep, so he fails. He takes a horror, which will go on to Leo DeLuca there. Yeah, and that's that. So, we'll go with Kymani first, just to do this compulsion test thing. Reveal a random token. If it is one of those, your first action must be to do that. It is that, so I have to double action to discard the compulsion, but at least that's dealt with for now. And I have 1 action remaining. I have a lot of cards in hand. We're going to draw 1 card from my deck, look at the top 2, choose 1 to draw, and put the other away. We're going to get the Thieves' Kit. I think the Thieves' Kit is going to be helpful. I don't know what clues are going to do, to be honest with you. Oh, we have to spend a clue to heal damage. Okay, so we're going to want to build up a couple clues if we can. Whoops. Okay, so that's Kymani. Charlie, I think we're going to walk away because the key locus is here. So my allies cost more. So we're going to walk up to Kymani. Action 1. Action 2, we're going to play Madame Lebranche. Action 3, we're going to Calling in Favors to return Madame Lebranche. Look at the top 9 cards in my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And play an ally with a reduced cost of 2. I think we're going to play Miss Doyle for 1 resource. When Miss Doyle enters play, I search my bonded cards for Hope, Zeal, and Augur, randomly choose 1 to put into play, and shuffle the other 2 into my deck. When Miss Doyle leaves play, find each of those assets and remove them from the game. So we get Augur. He is the evade one. Very nice. Oh, very good. Feeling a lot better about this now. The Familiar Spirit might have been a cute thing to try with the with those Eldritch Initiations in hand. I'd be able to pay 1 to draw 3, but they're really like an end game draw thing, and right now they're just icons. So it was move, play. I do still have an action. I think I'm just going to use Augur to do an Investigate with a base 5, and then I'll add a lot to it, I guess, right? A whole ton to try and grab one of these clues off of here. Seems fine. What is it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. -3. So, yes, we get a clue from the location. Cool. Okay, that's that. That's that entire turn, in fact. So, we ready up. This is attached here. Draw a card and gain a resource for each of us. Resources, draw. Burden of leadership. I think that these guys are all... So, no ally assets. Each ally must exhaust or deal direct damage. Deal it a direct damage and a direct horror. I think I just have to exhaust all of them. Which is a bummer, but it's fine. And then Kymani draws a guts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. It's a huge bummer that I drew like a ton of my combat stuff right at the get-go. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a sneak attack. And... maybe one of the watch thises, because these thief kits are hopefully going to start paying me a ton of money. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Okay. Next Doom on the agenda. 2 out of 12, but -4, right? The Doom on cards other than this subtract. So, -2 out of 12. And then encounter cards. Distorted Reasoning. Put it into play in your threat area. You cannot perform the same type of action twice in a row. At the end of your turn, test 3 willpower. Key charge. Each coterie enemy shifts each key attached to it. This surges. There's no coterie enemies with keys attached to them. Beyond the Touch. Place a Doom on the asset you control with the highest printed resource cost. If no Doom was placed by this effect... Fuck. Okay, well, Leo, you now have a Doom on you. But that's okay. We're not, like, getting bogged down with stuff, which I'm happy with. Cannot perform the same type of action twice in a row. Okay. So, what does that mean for me? I think that means that I can, like, play the Thieves' Kit, move, and investigate Quake Bay Citadel with Kymani. So, 1, 2, 3 to play the Thieves' Kit. I need to get a bit more set up, but I like having these clues. I think having these clues is going to be good. We're going to move. Actually, we'll move back down to the... No, we'll move to the Quake Bay Citadel. And then we'll do the investigate. So I'm going to put the manual dexterity and the watch this into this, putting up 3 of my bucks for a potential 6 back. We're going to go in on it. And we'll be at 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. The auto fail would be a disaster, and there's no resign option. A -1. Okay, cool. So I get 6 bucks. I get 1 buck from the Thieves' Kit. I get the clue off the location. I draw a card from Manual Dexterity. And it's my other Manual Dexterity. Cool. Kymani is feeling pretty happy about how that went. At the end of your turn, test the Distorted Reasoning. Oh shoot! I should have used a momentum on that so that this would be easier. But I'll test 5 against 3. Otherwise, I'll do that another turn. The -1's still in play. 5 against 3 seems fine. All the tablets are -2s. So there's a lot of -2s in the bag right now. And I'm not at a location with a key locus. So all those are the skulls are -1s. -2. So the Distorted Reasoning is gone, and I get to draw a card. It's a Breaking and Entering. Okay. Breaking and Entering is going to be really good against the Beast and the Cowl. That is good. Okay. As for Charlie over here, he's going to play Madame Lebranche and then use her to get $1. And then draw, looking at the top 2. We're going to take the... we're going to take the hit and run to hand and shuffle the art student back in. And this is limit once per turn, limit once per round. Okay. That's okay. And then we're going to draw another card. That's Zeal. Oh, great. Sweet. Okay, that's fine. Um, so I drew Zeal there, and I was wondering how Augur and Zeal work together, but they kind of do a weird thing. So it was play, user ability, do the draw again, and I have another action, so I think I'm just going to draw again. And hope. Oh my god, this shuffle was terrible. Thanks, game. Ready up. Ready up. A resource and a card. A medical student. A resource and a card. Pickpocketing. I did shuffle. Yeah, I've done a couple of draws since then. Okay. Oh, one doom. 3 out of 12, but -4 for Kymani. Bound in red. If there's no coterie enemies in play, bound in red gains surge. Otherwise, attach it to the coterie enemy with the highest printed health. The attached enemy gets +1, +1, +1, and +1. Flip it. Fight, evade, damage, and horror. Flip a stable key you control to its unstable side, then discard bound in red. An investigator at any location may trigger this ability. Okay. So this is attached to the Priest in the Crimson Cowl. And I'll have to read. Do I control him now? Each investigator. Both the Cleric Knight and the Light of Pharaohs are controlled by all investigators. Can I do those whenever I want to? That's interesting. So I could spend an action to flip that stable key to its unstable side and then discard the bound in red. Okay. I think I do need to read the rules on the keys again, because I glanced through them, but I didn't go into them in depth. Yeah, this did come into play on the story side face up. Sorry, the player side face up. You can trigger its shift ability during a play window as a free triggered ability. This is called shifting. As part of the ability's resolution, it will instruct the investigator to flip the key to its other side so other abilities active. The investigator will have to perform the shift ability on its unstable side to flip it back over again. While a key is attached to a story asset, it may be shifted by any investigator who controls that asset in the same way. So either of us can do that right now. Each key by title attached to an investigator or story asset can be shifted once per round. While a key is under an enemy's control, its shift ability only resolves when a card or game effect instructs an investigator to shift that key, after which it remains unstable side face up. Okay. A key attached to an enemy cannot be flipped to its stable side. There is no limit to the number of times a key attached to an enemy can be shifted. Oh. Okay, I see. I understand now. Some card effects may directly flip a key attached to an investigator or a story asset from a stable to its unstable side or vice versa. This is not the same as shifting a key and do not resolve its shift ability. Okay, interesting. I'm going to be right back. I have to take a quick washroom break, but I won't be long. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. So we just finished, what was it? Drawing the Bound in Red. And that was Kymani's, and I refreshed myself on the key rules, and I think that I've got a card here for Charlie. We get Beyond the Pale again. Attaches to the location. You test the 3 willpower. If you fail, take a horror for each hex. Attached to the location. So I could test 3 on 3 if I tapped Miss Doyle. I've got a couple of commits in my hand, but I'm not too keen to bother with that. I can take a little bit more horror. I have a medical student. So we'll go ahead and just test that. Would suck to draw a cultist token, but it is what it is. We'll have to get rid of Leo at some point. My next calling in favors probably just taps him off. -1, so we fail. We take a horror. I'll put it on my face. I'll put it on a Damel branch. It's not a big deal. And then that attaches, and yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. So we get another round that is relatively carefree on our end. Yeah, okay. So for for Charlie, I'd love to hit and run this medical student to get that healing. That'd be really nice. We're sitting at a bit of horror on ourselves. I'll tap Miss Doyle. Ooh. All right, very funny, very funny. Miss Doyle is the Cat General of Ulthwar. How's it going, Ham? What the fuck do I do? All right, I think I'm going to go with Kymani first and reveal a couple more locations. So I think the first thing we're going to do is do this next attempt on the Quake Bay Citadel here. No, you know what? We're going to move down to the Zen at El Satat. This busy, crowded marketplace is known for its twisting streets, bustling shops, and grisly past. You can't help but dart your eyes between the many alleys and hiding places along these narrow streets as you search for the key locus tucked away here. It's a 3-shroud, 2-clue location. When you fight an enemy while at Zen at El Satat, you must either spend an action or increase that enemy's fight by 2. Jesus. Oh, that sucks. But that's okay. I guess we can just kind of see what we can do here. And then I'll just toss some more Thieves' Kits. Actually, I'm going to spend 2 for a pickpocketing. And then I'll do a Thieves' Kit investigation. And I'll just do that at my current value, which is whatever it is. 5 against 3. Again, 2-up's pretty good right now. It's a bit worse on the sides here because of the skull, but whatever. Elder Sign. Cool. So +1. And we get a clue. And we get the resource from the Thieves' Kit. Okay, that's Kymani. That's her 3 actions. It was move, play, investigate. For Charlie, we're going to try and get this last clue. Yeah, so we're gonna discard Augur to automatically succeed and investigate here. But I don't have either of them in my discard pile to do the effect there. So then after that, we're going to, for 1 resource, hit and run the medical student into play, healing Charlie 1 and 1. And then we're also going to spend 1 to put Hope into play. And then we're going to trigger Madame Lebranche to get a resource back. That's pretty good, I think. I'm happy with that. Fortunately, Hope doesn't take up an ally slot, so we're not cranked out on ally slots yet. So that was 1 auto-successful investigate so far. That's the only thing I've done this turn. I have 3 more actions because of Leo. I'll do this double draw ability on Victoria College, looking at the top 2 cards. I'll grab the art student from this, and the medical student will get shuffled back into the deck. So that's 1, 2 actions. I'll move back to the center, and then I'll just exhaust all these guys, doing an investigate of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 3 to try and get the last clue from the Quake Bay Citadel. 3 up. 0. So we get the last clue off there. Cool. All right, that's the turns. Finito. We ready, everyone? We get $1 and a card, a string of curses for Charlie. That makes me feel really comfortable with both the hope and the string of curses in hand. And then Kymani gets a resource and another pickpocketing. Very good. Okay. So she's going to be, or sorry, they're going to be really well set up. And I have to apologize in advance. I know that Kymani is non-binary, and I try my best to use the they pronouns, but sometimes I mess it up. Okay. One more Doom on the agenda. We're at, so that'd be 4 out of 12, but we've got the 1 on each locations and on Leo, so -1 kind of. And then encounter cards. Another compulsion for Kymani. This is the one where you have to reveal the token and clear it if you reveal a symbol token. And then another Touch of the Beyond. Place a Doom on the asset you control with the highest printed resource cost. Okay, so now Leo is looking really juicy to... looking really juicy. Okay, good. Very nice. Okay. Let's see what we're up to next. We're just in survival mode right now. So this guy's going to be unlocking in 2 more turns. I'd love to get this other pickpocketing into play. Oh, let's do Kymani's turn first, just because they're not going to have a lot of options if we pull that symbol token. We're going to have 1 action, right? So, whatever. Yeah, there's the symbol, so we have to spend a double action to remove compulsion. And we have 1 action remaining. You know what? I really want to get this other pickpocketing into play, because now whenever I evade someone, I'm getting 2 card draws off that, and that's just going to be, like, really good. It's going to be super good. Okay, that's Kymani's turn. Charlie, let's send you up, first action up to the Corniche. Waves crash against the road that runs along Alexandria's coast, spilling water into the streets. A hub of activity, many streets intersect with the Corniche along its lengthy route. Perhaps the perfect hiding place for a key locus? 2 shroud, 2 clues. After the Corniche is successfully investigated, increase the difficulty of each other test performed at the Corniche this round by 2. Wow, okay, so that's tricky to do. So let's get those clues off now so that I don't have to do this again. We'll investigate Exhausting Hope and Madame Lebranche and Leo de Luca and Miss Doyle. So we're going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We don't need to be that high, do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 2? Let's do 5 against 2. Oh, there's the curse token. So we're now 3 against 2. We might fail this one. Pretty likely to fail this one, I'd say. Oh, 0. Nice. Not punished. We get the clue. The difficulty there is now increased. But that's okay. Move, investigate. I think I'm going to do a card draw. Close the circle. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 for close the circle, which gets all 5 charges on it. Super nice. Just for the sake of argument, there's no need for me to have tapped Madame Lebranche when I can use her as a resource. I should always tap her last. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So that's that. I'm not going to bother using that right now because there's no point. Okay, cool. Resource and a draw. Bonnie Walsh. Resource and a draw. Lucky cigarette case. Very nice. 5 Doom. Counter card for Kymani is the Scarlet Beast. Alert, Hunter, Retaliate. Gets +2 fight and -2 evade while is at a locus site. So he's really easy to evade right now. And then Charlie gets the Splintered Space. Attach Splintered Space to your location and test 3 agility. If you fail, take a damage for each hex treasury attached. After this test ends, if there's exactly 3 copies of Splintered Space, discard them. Okay, so we're testing 3. I mean, there's no real point in again, it's just 1 damage, and we can toss that onto Leo, and then we'll play over Leo or something like that. That's really no big deal. So 1 against 3. Don't mind failing this one bit. In fact, I'd love to pull that curse out if I could. Nope, -3, so we take 1 damage. We'll put it on Leo, and that'll be that turn. So, I do have to keep in mind, everyone with Hunter, what is it? Everyone with Hunter gains patrol of the nearest location with the key locus. So I need to get rid of the Scarlet Beast if I can. It's a 4 health enemy. I'd love to do the over-evade on it, but it's going to be a 6 difficulty test to do that. So how about we do the following? How are we going to do this? You know what we're going to do? We're going to do 1, 2 to play the breaking and entering. Ooh, no, but that's not an evade. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Breaking and entering for 2. We're going to investigate with 5, 6, 7 against 3. And if we succeed by 2 or more, excuse me, then we get to automatically evade this guy. And we're also going to put the momentum into this and to see if we can try to make the second evade off of this guy a bit easier. So we are at 8 against 3. I'd love to pull a very little number right now, if I can. -2, if this is an attack, it's not an attack. So -2, we get the clue, we succeed by 2. This guy gets automatically evaded. And how much did we succeed by? If we pulled a -2 and we were at 8, we were 6 against 3. So we succeeded by 3, so we get the -3 difficulty for momentum. We'll re-engage him. No, we'll double pickpocketing for 2 cards. A pilfer and a pilfer. Those are just icons at this point. We don't have a lot of clues together. So we'll re-engage it with Kymani's ability, the Scarlet Beast there. And then we'll do another evade at -3 difficulty. So we are evading 5 plus 2 from our intellect, 7 against a base difficulty of 2 with 4 health, but -3 difficulty. So I'm effectively evading 7 against 3 to discard the Scarlet Beast. That went pretty good, and I'd be really stoked if I got to defeat this guy. Oh, the curse. So 5 against 3. Ah, the auto fail. Okay, but because I failed, I don't evade him, so I can just try it again. But this time it is going to be at the higher difficulty, so I have to commit a bit to this. So I'm going to try the evade again. We're going to put the manual dexterity in. It's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 6. Let's go 10 against 6. Not really 10 against 6, it's 10 against 2, but 10 against 6 to defeat it. Oh, it's alert, so it actually just attacked me for 1 and 1 as well, because I failed to evade it there, but that's okay. And he is defeated. And I draw a card for manual dexterity. It's a guts. Very nice. So that was a breaking and entering, a base evade, and then another evade. So that is Kymani's turn complete. For Charlie, we do have another clue to grab here. Oh, this medical student should have returned to my hand because I hit and ran it, right? Yes, that is correct. That should be back in my. That should have been back in my hand a while ago now, I suppose. So that's my bad. So let's do the investigate. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that's 5 against 2. We'll try and get Bonnie into play if we can. -2, so that's the last clue off the location. I think we'll take a resource second action and then play Bonnie third action. And then we'll exhaust Madame Lebranche for a resource. And I think that we'll just pop down with Kymani. Because I think we're going to need to be in the same spot next turn, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Investigate successfully, take a resource, play Bonnie, move. Okay, done. Ready, 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 ready. A resource and a card is a scroll of secrets that can go right into hand if we can afford to. 8 cards in hand. Readying the pickpocketings, a resource and a card is kicking the hornet's nest. Okay. Interesting. Could use that to come get some clues back there. Anyways, that's that. We get one more Doom on the agenda, at which point, which is currently still at 0 because I've got 2 in Leo, but there's 6 more agenda on the Doom on the agenda. We reveal the catacombs. It's a 5 shroud, 4 clue location. Test 6. If you succeed, automatically evade the beast in the Cowl of Crimson, regardless of its current location. Group limit once per game. The Bloody Nexus. The interior of the necropolis is covered in scorch marks and lined with streaks of dried blood. What in the hell happened here? Okay. So he's there. That's a really tough test, but I mean, we could just dump everything into it, couldn't we? With Charlie. It's possible. Excuse me. So that's that. This guy is now going to be patrolling to the key locus locations, and we draw our encounter cards for the turn. Mysterious Chanting. Place 2 Doom on the nearest cultist enemy. We don't have any cultists, so we have to search the deck for a cultist enemy and spawn it. So it's one of the acolytes. I'm tempted to put the Wizard of the Order there so that Kymani can go deal with him. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And draw it, so that's all we do. Then we shuffle the encounter deck. We draw a card for each coterie enemy shifts each key attached to it. No key. That surges into an acolyte. So the acolyte, I'll just pop up onto the Corniche, I guess, with the Doom. And I'll see if I can get Charlie to just go up and punch it. I suspect that I can if I just tap everyone. That's probably possible. I guess I could use the String of Curses to defeat it and gain a resource. Actually, how about I just do that with a Wizard of the Order? That's great. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to do that, I think. So Charlie's going to move to the middle location. First action. The Wizard of the Order is going to engage him, and then he's going to play a String of Curses for 1 to gain a resource and defeat the enemy. So he's just dealt with. Action 1, Action 2. Action 3, we're going to spend a resource to play this Scroll of Secrets, which gets a couple of secrets on it. We're going to use that to look at the bottom card of our deck, an art student, and just put it on top. We don't need that right now. Art students are not super useful. I'm almost tempted to discard that, actually. I'm going to keep it on the bottom, actually. That's fine. I'll use that on Kymani for the rest of the time. So move, play, play. Is there anything else useful that we can do this turn? I don't think so. I might just play the Eldritch Initiation just to get the resource for Madame Lebranche used up. Boom, draw 2 cards. And I do have an Arcane slot used, so I do have to discard a card. I'm going to put Zeal into the discard pile so that I can do however I want to do with Hope in them to make that work. So that's good. Charlie's back at the center. Fine. Kymani is going to move 1 location up here, engaging the Acolyte. Oh, no, hold on. I don't need to do this. What am I talking about? I'm going to flip this to get rid of this. so that he doesn't kill something in one hit. I'm going to move in, engaging him. Do I want to engage him? That's a little tricky. I don't feel like this is a great idea. I'm a little worried about this. No, I think I have to come and deal with him later. No, we're not going to move in there right now. I do need some better options. And we can heal this by spending the clues, so that's not that big of a deal. So we got rid of the bound in red. We have 2 actions left. Maybe we will walk up to the Acolyte and just shoot it with the cheap shot. I don't know. The cheap shot's really good at dealing with the beast in the Cowl of Crimson is the thing. And we're just going to have to sit here tanking him for like the rest of the game. And that's going to be really tricky. It's going to be tricky. I'm going to pay 2 for a lucky cigarette case. And then last action, I think I'm just going to take a resource because I'm going to have a lot more money to be spending really shortly on this Pilfer. See if I can grab those. The backstab and the sneak attack and the cheap shot, that's all going to cost money. Would love to see the Chuck Fergus soon. That'd be a huge help. So that's that. So, the Acolyte and the Beast in the Cowl of Crimson are going to be attacking here, right? Patrol nearest location with a key locus. So he's gonna move down here and engage Kymani, dealing 2 and 2, which is a little painful. But then also, it also deals 4 damage here, which is a pain. And then this guy deals 1 damage here, and then we can proceed. Okay, cool. Ready. Resource and a card is another Eldritch Sophist, and then a resource and a card is my Stubborn Detective. Oh, that sucks. When it rains, it pours. Okay. A Doom, 7. Locust Balls. Nearest location with a key locus. Each investigator at the location takes a damage and a horror. If there's no key locus at the attached location, discard Locust Balls. Okay, so I take a damage and a horror over here on Kymani. So I am going to need to heal them soon with a medical student, if I can. And then you get Beyond the Pale. That attaches to this location. And we'll be taking 1 horror on someone. Not that big of a deal. We're just going to eat that test. So we have to kill that Stubborn Detective. I think Charlie needs to come in and help out. Charlie probably also needs to kill that Acolyte, but it's fine. We'll come help out with Kymani first. Got this Close the Circle. We've got a whole bunch of icons. We've got an Evade with Hope. Yep. Okay. +1. So we still take a horror. Not a big deal. We'll put the horror on Bonnie, I guess. So we're definitely going to start with Charlie because Charlie helps the best. So Charlie's going to walk in, engage the Beast in the Cowl of Crimson, and then discard Hope to evade with a automatically succeeding. And when we evade, we can shuffle Hope back into the deck to put either Zeal or Augur into play. We're going to put Zeal into play to try and get this Acolyte punched as well. Or maybe the Stubborn Detective. Not sure which. So that's that. Zeal goes into play. Okay, so that's that one. We're going to use Zeal to automatically fight the Stubborn Detective, dealing him a damage, and putting the other guy back into play. Augur. And let's just shuffle that. So after that, I said I was going to do what? That was action 1 and action 2. No, it was move, engage, evade, fight. And then we'll use close the circle to do another one with willpower, and we'll just exhaust like everybody, I guess. And then use Bonnie to re-ready the auger or something. So we'll be at... well, no, I don't have to use willpower. I can use willpower, right? Yeah, you may. So I'll just use a normal fight. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 against 3 to kill off the Stubborn Detective. Oh, I can't do any of that, actually. No, I can't boost myself because that guy's still alive. So I can't do that. Let's try and think of something else to do. I wonder if I just play the medical student over Leo with this close the circle test. That's tempting. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend 2 resources to play over my Leo DeLuca, removing the 2 Doom from him. But getting the medical student into play and healing Kymani 1-on-1. Make myself a little bit more comfortable. Hey, Bradley, bit late to the party. What's your Charlie deck structure? If you watched my video on the Many Faces of Charlie Kane, I'm trying that one out. The first scenario went like so abysmally poorly, but this one's going a bit more reasonably. So it is what it is. And I'm going to use the Scroll of Secrets on Kymani to look at the bottom card of their deck, Agent Fletcher, and that is going to get discarded. Very nice. That makes me super comfortable. Okay. So now we just have to fight the Stubborn Detective with Kymani. And I think it's going to have to be this cheap shot, which is a bummer. But whatever. So 1-2 for a cheap shot. We're fighting... When I attempt to fight an enemy while here, you must either spend an action or increase the enemy's fight for 2. I'm going to spend an extra action, so it'll be 2 actions to play this. I'll lurk in the background then. Nice to see you trying your build. Oh yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, I mean, I meant to play it ahead of time before I published it, and I was a little embarrassed that it didn't work particularly well at level 0, but it is what it is. I'm attempting, 7 against 3? I don't want that to be any higher, so I'll just do the 7 against 3 and spend an extra action. So 2 actions, doing a cheap shot. -2, if you succeed by 2 or more, automatically evade the attacked enemy. So I succeed by 2 or more, which lets me draw a card. And then I automatically evade, and then since I evaded, I draw 2 cards with the pickpocketing. And then finally, I deal a damage with the cheap shot, defeating him. Cool. Last action, the Beast in the Cowl of Crimson was evaded, by the way. I did that a while ago. Last action, should I play a grappling hook? That seems pretty good. Maybe I should try out the Key Locus Heal. That might not be a bad idea. But last action... I can also sneak attack the Beast in the Cowl so that he's at 4 health. I think I like that. 2 to sneak attack the Beast in the Cowl to put him at 2 damage. Okay. That's that. The Acolyte hits this one up here for 1. We ready up. Oof. Lot of board state going on. I'm going to have The Beast in the Cowl of Crimson engage Kymani. Because we do have this quick getaway, we can like try an extra evade after he retaliates. We also have quite a few icons to commit. And we don't have a free evade with Charlie. So let's get a resource and a card, another Scroll of Secrets, and then over here a resource and a card, the other backstab. Okay. So he's pretty close to getting defeated over here, but we have a bit more progress to go. So we've got, what is that? That's 8 out of 12 minus 2, 4, 5, so 3 out of 12. Jesus. A card for Warped Reality at the end of your attached to your location at the end of your turn. At the attached location, choose a known weakness card in your hand and set it aside out of play as hollow. Double action to discard the Warped Reality. Okay. And then Charlie gets a Coterie Provocateur, Aloof Patrol, nearest location with a key locus, so that's on me. When it's ready, investigators at the location cannot attack anything with a title other than Coterie Provocateur. Okay. So we have to deal with him this turn. We're going to use the Scroll of Secrets on Kymani again to look at this bottom card. That's Chuck Fergus. We're going to add that to hand, but I think it's probably going to end up being icons, unfortunately. We're in a bit of a pickle here. How are we going to get out of this? So we can't attack anything with a title other than the Coterie Provocateur. And he's going to be hitting this key locus for 1 horror every turn. Well, 1 damage. Let's see. And if we end our turn here, we have to hollow cards out of our hand. Okay. So I think Charlie needs to go first. And I think he needs to do something with that Provocateur. I just don't quite know what I'm going to do with it. I could also just heal the key locus, dump all of my stuff into a big heal and see if that works. That might be a good idea. I kind of like that, actually. Let's do that. Let's spend a clue. He doesn't have anything engaged with him. We're spending a clue first action. We only have 3 actions now. I do have to remember that. To test 2. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 2. And then we're going to use that to ready the Mist Oil. 8 against 2. And that'll let us heal a damage plus 1 for each point I succeed by. You share the Arkham DV ID for these decks. I'm looking for an inspiration for Charlie deck myself. I will post them in a couple of minutes. Shit. I have a thing with OBS where it doesn't let me chat in OBS. So I'd have to like open my stream up and share it in my stream. But I absolutely can share the IDs for these decks. Let me just resolve this turn first. So 8 against 2. -1, so I heal all the damage off of this key locus. That's nice. That's very good. Okay. That makes me feel a bit more comfy. We're going to spend 1 for another Scroll of Secrets. 3 resources on that. And we're going to look at the bottom card of our deck. No, it was an art student, wasn't it? And I left it there. So let's... Let's just keep going with Kymani. Another cheap shot. We'll take that with Kymani. That's really good, actually. The cheap shot helps with the Beast in the Cowl of Crimson pretty good. Even though the fights are pretty nasty. I would love for Kymani to be able to help to play Chuck sometime soon. 1 action left. One action left. We'll tap Madame Lebranche to get the resource back. Focus on the crab. The game is post in the VOD comment. Yeah, I'll put them in the description at the end of the stream. One action left. Oh, I shouldn't have played that. I should have discarded that warped reality. That's gonna bite me. Yikes. This is really tricky. I'm going to have to go up and deal with that Acolyte at some point, and maybe I'll just go do that now. Charlie's going to move up to the Corniche with the Acolyte engaged with him. I am going to take a damage, but I've got a bunch of soak on the table right now. Not a big deal. Okay. Kymani. We're going to try to evade the Beast in the Cowl of Crimson. We've got a whole ton of icons for it. Because we can't attack him right now. 5 against 4. You know, we're going to try the 7 against 4. And I've got so many icons. We're going to even... 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to even go up to 8 against 4 to get this evade off on the Beast in the Crimson Cowl. Because I really don't want 4 more damage to get put on this Key Locus. That would be a huge bummer. So let's try and get this evade off. 8 against 4. -1. Succeed by 2 or more for another quick getaway. He's evaded. We get 2 pickpocketings for a breaking and entering and another Chuck Fergus. So that's one action. I think I'm just going to double action to discard this warped reality. Oh god, that sucks. I hate that. Hate that. No, I'm going to play Chuck. Chuck's going to be too important soon. Play Chuck. And then... how am I going to do this? Excuse me. Sorry about that. I do have to hollow a card at the end of my turn. But if I just engage the Coterie Provocateur... No, I don't want that horror on me. That horror is really nasty. I could try a breaking and entering at no cost. And if I evade him, I can engage him. Yeah, I like that, actually. So we're going to play the breaking and entering for free with Chuck. We're going to be at 7 against 3. If I succeed by 2 or more, my own impression of the Scarlet Keys is that Kymani's OP, but I found Carson Charlie somewhat underwhelming. The first scenario, I had a really rough time. Kymani couldn't delete any of the enemies. I kept pulling, like, you know, -3 when I needed to succeed by 2, or I pulled, like, all 3 curses on a really critical test. And I just top-decked a ton of enemies, so we got totally scrambled by that scenario. But this seems to be going a bit better. So yeah, at breaking and entering 7 against 3. Should I put some cards into this? I probably should put some cards into this. I don't think I need any more Kicking the Hornet's Nest. Let's go 8 against 3. To get an extra card, an extra icon succeeding me by enough. -1, so I do get to evade this guy for free, which I will engage him using Kymani's ability. And I do not grab a clue. But at the end of the turn, I do have to hollow something from my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's hollow... Oh, God, I hope I don't run into something that makes me get some... So I'm going to get rid of this Lucky Cigarette case, and I hope I'm not going to regret that. So that's that. So, what happens? The Acolyte punches Charlie for 1 damage. That's going to be 1 on someone. Let's just put it on Madame Lebranche. And then also 1 onto the Key Locus. But that's okay. That's why we came here, was to come deal with that. We each gain a resource. and a card. That's Zeal for Charlie. In fact, we could play over Augur and just auto-defeat this guy. That's really nice. Oh, God. This is a huge board state. This is a very silly board state. I've used one of these. A resource and a card. Did I draw the card yet? No, I did not. Another Kicking the Hornet's Nest, which I'm not going to need, but that's fine. Okay. That's 9 Doom minus the 5 in play. Jesus Christ. This is a long scenario. Kymani gets a Mysterious Chanting. That's 2 Doom onto his Acolyte, but that's kind of free. I like that. That's very free. Because he's about to die anyways. And then Charlie gets another Acolyte. So I'll just toss this guy back here, and he's not going to matter for now. He is going to patrol to the nearest key locus, but I can have him patrol to Charlie. So let's go with Kymani first to make sure that we can actually do what we need to do. We're going to start off by evading the beast in a Crimson Cowl, I think is what I need to do. Is that correct? Yeah, I need to evade the beast in a Crimson Cowl. So I'm 5 against 4. Let's put in 2 icons to be 3 up. Do I still have a curse in here? No, I don't have a curse in here. 3 up. I think that's about as good as I can do without really draining myself of... No, I've got these pickpocketings and Lucky Cigarette Case. I need to go more up than that. I'll commit my other Chuck Fergus. So I'll be 4 up. I need to be making sure that this works. As best my abilities I can, at least. -1, so he's evaded. We did succeed by 2, so I get to Lucky Cigarette Case for a card. Quick Thinking. And I get to Pickpocketing twice for 1. Take a Horror onto Chuck. And shuffle for another. I'm going to need a Liquid Courage on Kymani pretty badly, I think. Or on Charlie to give to Kymani. Because this horror is pretty nuts right now. 1 more card. I should maybe have not triggered both of those pickpocketings. I would love to not get an Agent Fletcher right now. If I didn't get Agent Fletcher, I'd be pretty stoked. A Guts. Okay. And then I have to evade the Coterie Provocateur. Try the cheap shot and make it free, but if that didn't work, that would suck. Also, his combat would be like 6. That would be really rough. So I think I have to just do an evade. So it'll be 5 against 3. Let's go 6, 7, 8 against 3. Charlie Red Green build using Underworld support. Yeah, I bet that'd be pretty good. You might be surprised. Charlie, in the first scenario, he's pretty beat up, but like right now, I've got a pretty constant churn of allies that are making me feel very, very, very safe. 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3 for an evade. -2, so he's evaded. I'll re-engage him with Kymani's ability. I get a bonus action from Quick Thinking, which I will use to do my big evade with the intellect value added to it. And I'll commit... Let's see, what am I going to commit to that? Ooh, I don't have great commits for this right now. So what am I going to be? I'm going to be 7 against 3 with +2 to the difficulty that I need to succeed by. So it's kind of 7 against 5. I guess I could commit 1 icon to that to be like 8 against 5, kind of. And I like the backstab going towards it because the cheap shot is an easy out for this beast in the Cowl of Crimson. And I'll have an extra attempt, thankfully. I'll have an extra attempt. Because I did use the quick thinking there. Needs to succeed by... Oh, Elder Sign. If there's an exhausted enemy, you automatically succeed. Goodbye. And now I even have an action left. With which I will do what? I think I need to take a resource. Because I'm going to need to play some stuff soon. And I do have to remove something from the game from Halloween from this warped reality soon. That's at the end of your turn, so actually I have to do that right now. Let's get rid of this kicking the hornet's nest. I don't think that more enemies is something that I want to be searching for. That sounds like a nightmare. So that's that. Charlie. We'll spend one resource. No, how about we just punch this guy with our willpower? That seems fine. We'll use the Scroll of Secrets on Kymani to look at the bottom card of their deck. Another Chuck Fergus. We'll just draw that. It's more icons. So, we're just going to punch this guy with a close the circle. So this will be action none, kind of. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven? Yeah, 7. 7 against 3 to fight this acolyte. Zero. He's dead. We lose that doom from the play. He goes away. Very nice. Okay. And I've still got a bunch of actions left. Let's go ahead and try to... what am I trying to say? We'll heal this key locus. We'll spend a clue, testing 2 willpower. Oops. 2 willpower, so we're going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's even go 7 against 2 to try and heal this location a little bit. -2. 7 against 2. Was it 6 against 2 or 7 against 2? I think it was 7 against 2. I definitely succeed by enough to get rid of all that. So that's action 1 and 2. I do have 2 more actions because one of those was actually close the circle test. I think now is the time to head back to Kymani. 3rd action, kind of. And then 4th action, I think I want to play this Faustian Bargain to give Kymani a bunch of money, because Kymani really needs to play some stuff. So we'll do 2 curse tokens to get 5 resources amongst us. Let's give Kymani, like, 3 of it, 4 of it, and myself 1. And that feels pretty good. Okay. The Acolyte is going to patrol to a location, so we're going to patrol here. We're going to punch Charlie once for 1 damage. And that 1 damage is going to go where? Onto Bonnie, I guess. And then everything's going to ready. Oh, and 1 damage also goes on to the key locus. The Beast in the Cowl of Crimson is going to engage who? Yeah, Kymani again. Yeah, it'll engage Kymani again. And then we each gain... lost 1. That's going to be gone to the nether for a while. So 2. 1 over here in a card is Gregory Gry. And then the card for Kymani is going to be a Momentum. Okay, that's good. Hopefully we can do an evade into a backstab or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Where'd that token go? I don't know. I found a health. Do you know if the mod's updated? I don't think so. No. We don't have the campaign expansion for it in Poland yet. Supposedly it's going to come mid-December. Ooh, shit. That's a ways away. That sucks. Okay, so that was that turn complete. We get a Doom up here. We now have 5 Doom in play against 10 up there, so we're 5 out of 12. Jesus, this is a long scenario. Another Acolyte. We'll send him back there. And then for Charlie, a Scarlet Beast. Alert, Hunter, Retaliate. +2 fight, -2 evade while it's out of the locus site. Okay, wow, this is brutal. This is brutal. I might have to pause this and come back, because I've been streaming for 2 hours, and I thought I'd fit it in quickly while my kid was napping, but I think he's awake now with my wife upstairs, and she's not feeling well, so I probably got to get back to that soon. But I might have to pause this. I just finished the Mythos phase. Wow, this is quite the scenario. This is a long one. I hope I'm not misunderstanding something, because I feel like I've been playing for ages. Okay, let's do this turn. Let's finish this turn, and then I might have to. So I'm going to go with Charlie first, I think. So Charlie is going to, for 1, play over Augur with Zeal, and do the automatic fight against the Acolyte, raising the difficulty by 2, but it doesn't matter. Zeal gets shuffled into the deck, and I can put Augur or Hope back into play. Do I only have one of them in here? I have Augur in here, so Augur's just going to come right back into play. But the Acolyte is dealt with. So that's that. And then... Ooh, I did end my turn here with Charlie and forget to remove something from my deck. So let's remove this Art Student. I don't think I need clues anymore. With the Warped Reality. I forgot about that last turn. We're going to use Close the Circle to attempt to evade the Scarlet Beast. We're going to do a Scroll of Secrets on Kymani once more. Just adding this cheap shot to her hand. Their hand, excuse me. So we're doing a Willpower evade on the Scarlet Beast. We'll just exhaust everyone. And then attempt to... it's going to be a silly amount up. But we're going to remove the Warped Realities from play after this guy's evaded. Yeah, assuming he gets evaded. And that readies who? That's going to ready Mist Oil, I guess. -2. Yep, so he's evaded. Kymani's going to use their ability to engage it, and then we're going to remove the Warped Realities from play. Okay, so that's Charlie's turn. Kymani is going to... carry on, but I am going to have to go, so that'll be the end of my stream there. I'll pick this up probably later tonight.